Crash and burn.
Hey everybody! So today I am looking to discuss the character of Claude Tanner from Degrassi High. Now I know this character was supposed to be perhaps seen in a more sympathetic light because he does unfortunately end up committing suicide once he feels that his life is completely train wrecked. His parents have divorced. He doesn't love his mom's new boyfriend doesn't love him, and him and his dad, they don't get along at all. And he does end up, unfortunately, committing suicide in one of the school's bathrooms. There, unfortunately, again, Snake is the person that finds him, and this completely traumatizes Snake. And so I know that, again, I'm supposed to feel sympathetic or whatever, but I don't. I can't stand Claude. I've hated Claude since the first episode. I saw him at the start of whatever year that was from Degrassi High when he meets Caitlin, and he's the little guy giving out the locks, and he's the one, what is it, selling yearbooks or whatever it is. He's setting up all the funds you have to give to the money you have to give to the school in order to get like this and that and the other thing. And he meets Caitlin and the sparks fly. And she, of course, is kind of on the outs with Joey because Joey is Joey and he's kind of annoying. And Caitlin is looking for something a little more mature. And Claude likes foreign films. And Claude is an activist. And he's anti-nuclear weapons, and this is the sort of thing that Caitlin's kind of getting into. And because of his influence, she ends up working for People for Peace, volunteering alongside Claude at People for Peace, which is this anti-nuclear collective that are set up at least in Toronto at this point. She's got the leather jacket because Claude has a leather jacket, and she is so clearly influenced by him because she does think he's cool. But I never thought Claude was all that cool. I thought he was sort of a whiny little suckface. I get total like David Usher vibes from that guy. For anybody that remembers David Usher. He just gets on my nerves. Like, he's like, I'm going to spray paint anti-nuclear slogans on the walls of some factory in Toronto that's making parts that go on a nuclear weapon. And she's like, what are you going to do if you get caught? And he's like, I'm not afraid. And it's like, but the thing is, it's all talk with him. He's like the Chicago 7. She's like, who's that? They were 7 guys from Chicago. And they did totally radical things, which shows he's not even doing any of his homework. He's about as much a revolutionary as I am. And so he convinces Caitlin, of course, as everybody knows, to break into the place that's making the parts for the nuclear weapons. And they're spray painting, my God, drum roll here. They're spray painting no nukes are good nukes. Because they are moronic high school kids, aren't they? And then, as they are escaping, once the security guard sees them, and him and Caitlin take off and hit the fence, he clears the fence, but Caitlin gets hooked on the fence, her pant leg. Don't wear jeans to these things, kids, or if you do, tuck them in. Anyways, yeah, and she gets caught. Her pant leg gets caught. And Claude, all he had to do was run back and just do like this. Just to unhook it. She would have thrown herself over, and the security guard, who was clearly a retiree, was not going to hop the fence to come and chase them for that. There was no way. And they're like a quarter of his age. They would have taken off and gotten away with it. They would have disappeared into the night. And Claude would have been, like, you think Claude was influencing her before. Once he saves her life, saves her from getting arrested, he would have been seen as like a god. She would have thought he was like the coolest guy in the world. Like he's like this total fucking James Dean type. But no, Claude leaves her there and she gets busted. And then she breaks up with him. And that's it for Claude. Everything's just permanently downhill. He keeps coming at her and he's like, can we try again? Let's do this and that. And then he gives her that rose and then he goes off and kills himself. And then the piece of shit has the nerve to send Caitlin a bunch of flowers. When she's tutoring Joey, she comes back and he's like, she got flowers from him. And she's like, oh, he really did love me. And Joey's like, no, he didn't, man. He did this to punish you because he's a piece of shit. He wanted you to feel guilty even after he was dead. And then that fucking poem he tries to read at the talent show. Like, Claude, there's a time and a place for everything, and I understand that you're hurting. But he's just so incredibly selfish and so self-involved and so self-righteous that I just don't care. And I know that I should have more sympathy for him because he does kill himself because he does feel like his life is falling apart. And despite how little I like him, I still didn't necessarily want him to kill himself. But then it completely fucks up Snake too. It fucks up Caitlin. And it's like he's still messing with these people beyond the grave. And I just can't stand him. I've always hated him. I always have, and I most likely always will, despite the fact that they did try to set him up to appear to be more sympathetic. And I mean, I definitely don't want anybody committing suicide, but I just don't care about this character at all. It gets on my nerves. So yeah, so that's where I'm leaving it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little over 5 minutes while I discuss the character of Claude Tanner from Degrassi High. Like always, you guys are amazing, and don't forget to go out and do something nice for somebody, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.